Welcome back, my friends, to Stoic Habit Builder, the place where ancient wisdom meets modern life. If you're someone who believes that love, peace, and strength begin from within, then you're in the right place. Here, we don't chase quick fixes or empty tricks. We dive deep into timeless Stoic principles that can transform the way you think, the way you love, and the way you live. So take a deep breath, settle in, and open your heart and mind. Because today, you're not just watching another video, you're stepping into a journey of growth, wisdom, and unshakable inner strength. Have you ever wondered why love feels so unpredictable? Some people say it's all about fate, emotions, or just plain luck. And yes, sometimes it feels like destiny brings two people together. But here is the truth most people miss. Love doesn't have to be left to chance. Real, lasting love begins not with controlling someone else's feelings, but with mastering yourself. The ancient Stoic philosophers understood this thousands of years ago. They taught that while we cannot control the thoughts or actions of others, we always have complete power over how we think, how we act, and how we choose to respond. And here's the remarkable part. When you master yourself, you naturally become more attractive. Not because of tricks, games, or appearances, but because of the strength and peace you carry within. Think about it. Who would you rather be with? Someone insecure, constantly chasing validation, or someone calm, confident, and grounded in who they are? True love doesn't grow from desperation. It grows from self-respect and inner peace. When you know your worth, you no longer fear rejection. Instead, you radiate a quiet confidence that draws people toward you. That's why in today's video, we're not talking about quick hacks or temporary strategies. No gimmicks. We are going to explore 12 timeless Stoic secrets that can help you build the kind of love that lasts. These aren't just ideas for romance, they're principles for life. They'll help you become the best version of yourself so that when love arrives, it's built on a foundation that's strong, genuine, and unshakable. So if you're ready, open your mind and heart, because this journey isn't just about attracting someone else. It's about discovering your true strength, your deepest peace, and the kind of love that can stand the test of time. Secret number 1. Cultivate inner peace. Now, think about this. How many times have you felt overwhelmed by stress, frustration, or anger, and later realized it spilled into your relationships? Maybe it was snapping at someone you care about or shutting down when things got tough. We've all been there. But here is the life-changing truth. You don't have to be a prisoner of your emotions. The Stoics taught us something powerful. You cannot control what happens around you, but you can always control how you respond. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That strength is what transforms you into someone calm, grounded, and magnetic to others. Imagine this. Two people face the exact same stressful day. One allows the pressure to consume them, spreading negativity everywhere they go. The other pauses, takes a deep breath, and chooses peace over panic. Which one would you rather be around? Inner peace is not about ignoring problems. It's about meeting them with clarity and calm instead of fear and chaos. When you cultivate peace within yourself, you radiate something rare in today's world: stability. People sense it. They feel safer, more at ease, more connected to you. That's why inner peace doesn't just benefit you. It naturally draws others closer. But remember, peace isn't a final destination. It's a daily practice. Some days you'll stumble. That's okay. The key is persistence. Every time you choose to respond with patience instead of anger, acceptance instead of resistance, you strengthen that inner calm. And over time, it becomes part of who you are. So if you want love that lasts, start by creating peace within yourself. Because when your heart is steady, your presence becomes irresistible. Secret number 2. Focus on self-improvement. Every meaningful relationship begins with one simple truth. You can give what you done, already have. If you want love, respect, and deep connection, you must first develop those qualities within yourself. That's why self-improvement is not just an option, it's the foundation. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Look within. Within is the fountain of good." What he meant is that real growth starts the moment you dare to look in the mirror and face yourself honestly. Have you ever asked, what weaknesses are holding me back? It takes courage to admit where we fall short, but that honesty is the gateway to transformation. And self-improvement isn't about changing who you are to please others. It's about unlocking the best version of yourself, the version that's already there, waiting to be developed. This could mean learning to listen more deeply, strengthening your communication skills, or practicing empathy so you can truly understand the people around you. Think about it. Have you ever felt drawn to someone simply because they made you feel heard? That's the power of soft skills. They create bonds that last. The Stoics remind us not to waste time arguing about what a good person should be. Be one. Every day is an opportunity to live those values instead of just talking about them. Imagine walking into a room where you don't need to impress anyone, because your presence, your growth, and your quiet confidence already speak louder than words. When you commit to self-improvement, you naturally attract others, not because you're chasing them, but because you radiate energy that people can't help but admire. That's the secret. Become better every single day, and love will find its way to you. Secret number 3. Live fully in the present moment. Too often, we get trapped in two prisons: the weight of the past and the fear of the future. Maybe you replay old mistakes in your mind, wondering, what if I had done things differently? Or perhaps you worry endlessly about what tomorrow might bring. What if it doesn't work out? What if I lose what I love? But here's the truth. Neither the past nor the future exists right now. All you ever truly have is this moment. Epictetus once said, "Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding. Some things are within our control, and some things are not." Worrying about what lies outside your control, whether it's yesterday, regrets, or tomorrow, uncertainties, only steals the peace of today. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, put it beautifully: confine yourself to the present. Think about that for a moment. What if, instead of reliving old wounds or anticipating problems that may never come, you poured your full attention into the here and now? Imagine sitting across from someone you love, fully present, not distracted by your phone, not lost in your thoughts, but truly there. That kind of presence creates a connection so rare, so powerful, it can transform relationships. And here is the key. Living in the present isn't just about enjoying life as pleasures. It is about giving your best self to others. When you listen deeply, when you laugh without holding back, when you choose to love without hesitation, you create memories that last a lifetime. The Stoics remind us that life is fleeting. Every moment is a gift we'll never get back. So why waste it being somewhere else in your mind? The secret to deeper love and greater peace is right in front of you. Live here, live now, live fully. Secret number 4. Communicate with compassion. Now let me ask you, when was the last time you felt truly heard? Not just when someone nodded politely, but when they actually listened with their heart? That feeling of being seen and understood is one of the deepest human needs, and it's also one of the greatest gifts you can offer in a relationship. Marcus Aurelius once reminded us, before you blame someone else, ask yourself whether you are guilty of the same thing. This perspective shifts our communication from judgment to empathy. Instead of rushing to criticize, we pause and reflect. Have I made a similar mistake? Do I also stumble in this way? That small act of humility opens the door to compassion. Seneca added another powerful truth. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Think about how many arguments are fueled not by what actually happened, but by the stories we create in our minds, assumptions, fears, and exaggerations. Compassionate communication dissolves that cycle. It allows us to approach conversations with openness rather than suspicion. Here's the beauty. When you choose to listen with empathy, you're not just solving problems, you're building trust. Imagine sitting with your partner or a close friend. Instead of preparing your defense while they speak, you simply listen, reflect back their feelings, and let them know you understand. That's the kind of moment that strengthens bonds and heals wounds. True communication isn't about winning an argument. It's about building a bridge. And bridges are built with compassion, patience, and understanding. When you bring that energy into your conversations, you don't just connect more deeply. You create a space where love can grow and thrive. Secret number 5. Uphold integrity. Seneca gave us a timeless rule to live by. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. At first glance, it sounds simple. But think about how powerful this principle really is. Integrity means living by your values not only when people are watching, but especially when no one is. In relationships, integrity is the invisible foundation that holds everything together. Without it, trust crumbles. With it, love feels safe. Ask yourself, how many times have we seen relationships fall apart? Not because of a lack of love, but because of dishonesty, broken promises, or hidden agendas. Love without trust is like a house built on sand. It cannot stand. Integrity isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent. It's choosing to tell the truth even when lying would be easier. It's keeping your word even when circumstances make it inconvenient. And it's standing firm in your principles, even when no one else will ever know. When you live with integrity, people can sense it. Your partner feels secure because they know your words and your actions align. Friends respect you because they know you mean what you say. And you, most importantly, gain self-respect, the kind that no one can take away. Here's the truth. Integrity doesn't just build trust, it builds attraction. There is something magnetic about a person who lives authentically, without masks or pretenses. Love thrives in an environment of safety, and safety is born from honesty. So, let Seneca's words guide you. In every choice, big or small, ask yourself, is this right? Is this true? Because every time you choose integrity, you're not just protecting love, you're strengthening it. Secret number 6, practice gratitude. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a way of seeing the world, a lens that changes how you experience life and how others experience you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "The wise man is content with what he has." And here is the truth. When you focus on what you already have, instead of what's missing, you shift from scarcity to abundance. But here's where most people go wrong. They think gratitude is only for the good times. In reality, the deepest gratitude is practiced in moments of struggle. Imagine this. You and your partner face a tough season. Financial stress, family challenges, maybe even personal loss. Most people allow hardship to tear them apart. But what if instead you chose gratitude? What if, in the middle of difficulty, you still looked at each other and said, "I'm thankful we're facing this together"? That mindset doesn't just survive the storm, it strengthens the bond. Gratitude also makes you magnetic. Think about it. Who do you enjoy being around more? Someone who constantly complains or someone who radiates appreciation for even the little things? Gratitude is contagious. It lifts the energy of every room, and in relationships, it reminds your partner that they are valued and seen. Here's a simple practice. Every day, pause and name 3 things you're grateful for, even if one of them is just a small gesture from someone you love. Over time, this rewires your mind to notice the good, not just the problems. Gratitude transforms ordinary moments into treasures, and challenges into opportunities for deeper connection. It makes love not just survive, but thrive. The secret isn't waiting for life to be perfect. It's choosing to be thankful, right here, right now. Secret number 7, practice humility. Now, let's be honest. Humility often gets misunderstood. Some think it means putting yourself down. Others confuse it with weakness. But true humility is neither. It's seeing yourself clearly. No exaggeration, no false pride, but also no unnecessary self-doubt. It's knowing your worth without needing to shout it, and admitting your flaws without shame. Marcus Aurelius captured it beautifully. Receive without arrogance, let go without struggle. Imagine living that way, accepting the good in your life without bragging, and releasing what you can't control without bitterness. That's humility in action. In relationships, humility is the glue that holds two imperfect people together. Why? Because humility makes forgiveness possible. When you're humble, you don't cling to being right all the time. You're willing to say, "I was wrong, I'm sorry," and those simple words can dissolve conflicts that pride would only make worse. Think about the last argument you had. Was it really about the issue at hand, or was it about pride, about needing to win? Pride builds walls, humility builds bridges, and bridges are what keep love alive. Humility also makes you approachable, trustworthy, and deeply human. It allows you to connect without pretense, without masks. People can feel safe around you because they know you don't see yourself as above them or beneath them, but simply as equal. Here's the truth. Love doesn't thrive in competition, it thrives in cooperation. And cooperation is born from humility. When you bring humility into your relationships, you don't just avoid unnecessary conflict. You create space for kindness, patience, and real connection. So the next time your ego whispers, "Defend yourself, prove your point, show you're better," remember this Stoic secret. Real strength is found in humility. Secret number 8. Master the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught a lesson that has stood the test of time. Some things are within our control, and some are not. The moment you truly understand this, your relationships and your peace of mind will never be the same. Here's the truth. You cannot control how someone else feels, how they react, or what choices they make. And yet, how often do we fall into that trap? We try to change our partner's emotions, we expect them to behave exactly the way we want, and when they don't, we feel frustrated, even betrayed. But that's a battle we can never win. What can we control? Our own actions, our own attitudes, our own growth. When you focus there, something powerful happens. You stop being tossed around by other people's moods, and you start radiating calm confidence. And that kind of energy is magnetic. Imagine two scenarios. In the first, you're always chasing after approval, trying to manage how someone else feels about you. Exhausting, right? In the second, you stay grounded in your values. You choose patience over anger, kindness over bitterness, growth over blame. Which version of you do you think creates a stronger, healthier connection? The Stoics remind us, freedom begins the moment we stop trying to control the uncontrollable. In love, that means letting go of the need to fix or manipulate your partner, and instead asking yourself, how can I show up as the best version of me today? When you live this way, you become steady, unshakable, and deeply attractive. Because nothing is more appealing than someone who knows what they can control and has the wisdom to let go of the rest. Secret number 9. Embrace differences. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Be indifferent to what makes no difference." In other words, not every disagreement, not every difference, deserves your energy. And when it comes to relationships, this wisdom is golden. Here's the truth. No two people are the same. Every person you meet brings a unique background, perspective, and personality. Too often, we fall into the trap of trying to mold others into our own image, thinking, if only they thought like me, acted like me, believed what I believe, then things would be perfect. But perfection isn't sameness. Perfection is harmony. And harmony only exists when different notes come together. Think about it. Would you really want a relationship where the other person is just a copy of you? Or is it the differences, the fresh ideas, the different strengths, even the quirks, that actually make the connection richer? When you respect differences, you're sending a powerful message. I see you. I accept you. I value you as you are. And that builds the deepest kind of trust, the trust that says, I don't have to hide who I am to be loved. Of course, differences can also create friction, but that's where Stoic wisdom helps us. The next time a small irritation comes up, ask yourself, does this really matter? Or am I just holding on to pride? If it's not essential, let it go. Save your energy for what truly strengthens your bond. At the heart of it, love isn't about erasing differences. It's about celebrating them. Because when two unique people come together, not in spite of their differences, but because of them, that's when a relationship becomes unshakably strong. Secret number 10. Seek wisdom. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Your happiness depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Let that sink in for a moment. True joy doesn't come from how much money you make, how many things you own, or even how much approval you get from others. It comes from the thoughts you cultivate every single day. Think of your mind like a garden. If you fill it with weeds, resentment, negativity, jealousy, what grows is chaos. But if you plant seeds of wisdom, reflection, and understanding over time, your garden becomes a place of peace, strength, and beauty. And people are naturally drawn to that kind of energy. They want to be around someone who thinks clearly, who sees life with perspective, who lifts others up instead of pulling them down. Epictetus put it powerfully, only the educated are free. Wisdom frees us, not just intellectually, but emotionally and spiritually. It frees us from reacting blindly, from being controlled by anger or fear. Instead, it gives us the power to respond with calm, with compassion, with courage. Ask yourself this. How often do you invest in your inner growth compared to your outer appearance? We spend money on clothes, gyms, vacations, but how much time do we spend feeding our mind and soul? The truth is, wisdom is magnetic. It makes you emotionally mature, spiritually grounded, and deeply attractive. Not in a superficial way, but in a way that builds trust and admiration. A wise heart and a thoughtful mind create a love that doesn't just survive challenges. It grows stronger because of them. So if you want a relationship that endures, don't just work on looking good. Work on thinking well. Because wisdom isn't just knowledge, it's the secret ingredient that makes love last. Secret number 11, practice patience. In today's world, we're conditioned to want everything fast. Fast food, fast results, instant answers. But love doesn't work that way. Real love, just like wisdom, strength, or character, needs time to grow. The Stoics knew this. They reminded us that rushing a relationship or forcing it to move faster than it's ready for often does more harm than good. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Time is like a river, a violent current of events, sweeping everything along." In other words, life has its own flow, and love, too, has its own rhythm. When we practice patience, we allow our relationships to develop naturally, without pressure, without fear. Think about it. Have you ever tried to rush a flower to bloom? You can water it, give it sunlight, and take care of it, but it will open in its own time. Love is no different. It blossoms when both hearts are ready, not when one person demands it. Patience builds trust. It creates a sense of safety where both people feel free to grow. And that safety is the foundation of lasting love. Without it, relationships become fragile, full of doubt and tension. But with patience, love matures into something unshakable. So ask yourself, are you trying to control the pace of love? Or are you willing to trust the process, to let time do its quiet work? True love is not a race, it's a journey, and patience is the strength that carries it forward. Secret number 12. Embrace impermanence. The Stoics taught that nothing lasts forever. Everything changes. Our bodies, our circumstances, our relationships. At first, this might sound sad or even frightening, but in truth, impermanence is not our enemy. It is what gives meaning to love. Think about it. If you knew a sunrise would last forever, would you still wake up early to watch it? No, its beauty is tied to the fact that it fades. In the same way, the fragility of life is what makes our moments with loved ones so precious. When we embrace impermanence, we stop clinging in fear of losing what we have. We stop wasting energy on trying to freeze time. Instead, we learn to appreciate each moment fully, knowing it will never come again. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that life is constantly moving, that loss is a natural part of existence, and by doing so, he didn't love less, he loved more deeply, because he understood that every smile, every touch, every word shared was a gift, not a guarantee. Impermanence does not mean detachment. It means loving without chains. It means holding someone close without trying to own them. It means valuing the present without being crushed by the fear of tomorrow. So let me ask you, are you resisting change, or are you allowing it to deepen your gratitude? When you embrace impermanence, you free yourself. You discover a love that is not bound by time, but enriched by it. And that, my friend, is the kind of love that lasts, precisely because it doesn't have to. Love, in its truest form, is not a game. It's not about clever tricks or strategies. Real love is a journey of becoming the best version of yourself. The Stoics never told us to manipulate others, to play mind games, or to chase affection. Instead, they taught us something far more powerful. Master yourself first. Because when you do, love flows naturally. When you live with integrity, you build trust. When you practice gratitude, you radiate positivity. When you communicate with compassion, you create a bond that no hardship can break. And when you embrace wisdom, patience, and humility, you become magnetic without even trying. Think about the 12 Stoic secrets we explored together. Each one is not just a rule for love, but a principle for life. They transform you from the inside out. And here's the truth. When you elevate yourself, the kind of love you desire doesn't need to be forced. It will be drawn to you, like light attracts light. The Stoics remind us, happiness and love do not come from controlling others, but from mastering our own mind, our own choices, our own character. That's where real freedom lies. That's where lasting love begins. So I'll leave you with this. Don't seek love as if it is missing. Build yourself as someone worth loving, and love will find you. Not a shallow love, not a temporary love, but a deep, steady, unshakable love rooted in peace, honesty, and wisdom. Because when you grow, your love grows with you. And that, my friend, is the kind of love that endures. And now, the choice is yours. You can walk away and let this wisdom fade, or you can take action and begin applying these Stoic secrets in your own life, starting today. If this message spoke to you, imagine what would happen if thousands of us practiced it together. A world filled with more peace, integrity, and genuine love. That's the mission of this channel. So if you found value here, don't just keep it to yourself. Hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it, because when you grow, you inspire others to grow too. Remember, true love begins with mastering yourself. And that journey, your journey, continues right here, with us.